What happens in her mind when you go silent for moves, when you go silent for months? The first battle is not happening in her mind. It is happening in yours. You are the one staring at the phone. You are the one wondering if she forgot you. You are the one thinking maybe she moved on, maybe she is happier, maybe she never cared the way you did. You are the one fighting the urge to text at night, check her stories, ask a friend about her, or send one small message just to see if there is still something there. And that is why most men never make silence powerful. They go silent with their mouth, but they keep chasing with their mind. They do not text her, but they watch her. They do not call her, but they wait for her. They do not beg out loud, but inside, every part of them is still asking, does she miss me yet? That is not strength. That is emotional waiting. And in a few minutes, you are going to understand what silence can do inside a woman's mind when it is real. Not fake silence, not childish silence, not silence used to punish her, real silence. The kind that comes from self respect, emotional control, and a man finally choosing his own life again. But before this is over, you will also understand something more important. You cannot control her mind, you cannot force her to miss you, you cannot guarantee that silence will bring her back. What you can control is whether silence turns you into a stronger man or a weaker one, because if you spend months silent but still obsessed, you did not grow. You just waited quietly. The first thing that often happens when you go silent for months is that her certainty begins to break. At first, she may believe she knows you. She may expect your pattern. She may expect the message. She may expect the emotional paragraph. She may expect you to ask why she changed. She may expect you to check on her, apologize again, explain again, or try one more time to prove your love, because maybe that is who you were before. Maybe when she pulled away, you chased. Maybe when she got cold, you became warmer. Maybe when she ignored you, you sent more. Maybe when she gave less, you gave more. Maybe when she acted unsure, you started auditioning for her attention. And if that was your old pattern, she may expect it again. But then you do not do it. 1 week passes, then 1 month, then more time. And slowly, the old story she had about you starts to feel less certain. She may wonder why you are not reaching. She may wonder if you finally moved on. She may wonder if she lost access. She may wonder if you are happier. She may wonder if she took your attention for granted. She may wonder why the man who used to care so deeply is no longer trying to be seen. That wondering does not come from manipulation. It comes from contrast. She expected the old you. You gave her silence. But here is the truth: silence only creates that contrast if it is real. If you are silent but still checking her life every night, your silence is weak. If you are silent, but every post you make is secretly for her reaction, your silence is weak. If you are silent, but still asking mutual friends about her, your silence is weak. If you are silent, but still counting days like a prisoner, your silence is weak. A woman may not see every weak thing you do in private, but you will feel it, and your energy will not change if your private habits do not change. That is why no contact alone is not enough. No contact removes your message from her phone. But self respect removes your neediness from your identity. That is the deeper work. When you go silent for months, the real question is not, what is she thinking? The real question is, what am I becoming? Because if you become more anxious, more bitter, more obsessed, more jealous, and more dependent on her return, then silence is not healing you. It is trapping you. But if you become calmer, more disciplined, more focused, more emotionally controlled, and more respectful of yourself, then silence becomes transformation. That is what she may feel later. Not just your absence, your change. The second thing that may happen in her mind is that your absence starts replacing the pressure of your presence. When a woman pulls away and you chase, she feels pressure. She may not call it that, but she feels it. She feels your need. She feels your fear. She feels your desperation for certainty. She feels that your peace is depending on her response, and pressure makes distance feel safer. That is why chasing often pushes her further away. You think you are showing love, but she feels emotional weight. You think you are proving loyalty, but she feels you trying to pull her back before she has even understood what she feels. You think your paragraph will make her remember the relationship, but sometimes it only reminds her why she wanted space. So when you go silent for months, something changes. The pressure disappears. There is no paragraph to answer, no emotional message to manage, no late night question, no guilt heavy apology, no attempt to force a conversation, no man standing outside her silence demanding clarity. At first, that may feel like relief to her. And this is the part many men do not want to hear. Sometimes when you first go silent, she may feel free, she may feel lighter, she may not miss you immediately, she may not panic, she may not come running, she may enjoy the space. That does not mean your silence failed. It means you finally stopped forcing yourself into a place where your presence was not being valued. And after relief, time starts doing what your words could not do. Time removes the emotional noise. Time lets memories come back without pressure attached to them. Time lets her feel what life is like without your constant attention. Time lets her compare the fantasy of being without you to the reality of being without you. But time only works if you stop interrupting it. Most men interrupt time because they panic. They stay silent for a while, then send one message. They stop checking for a few days, then check again. They say they are moving on, but then post something emotional so she notices. They want her to feel their absence, but they keep appearing in small ways. You cannot be missed if you refuse to become absent. That line matters. You cannot be missed if you keep showing up. You cannot be missed if your attention is still available. You cannot be missed if she knows you are still waiting, still watching, still hoping, still orbiting. Real absence means you stop reaching with your phone, with your posts, with your friends, with your mind. And when your absence becomes real, she may begin to feel what your presence used to provide. She may remember your patience. She may remember your consistency. She may remember the way you listened. She may remember the way you cared. She may remember that you were not perfect, but you were present. She may remember that you were someone who showed up before you finally stepped back, but do not become addicted to that possibility. Because the moment her remembering becomes your mission, she still controls you. Your mission is not to live inside her mind. Your mission is to return to your own. The third thing that may happen is that she starts questioning the access she thought she had. Access is powerful. When someone knows they can reach you anytime, hurt you, and still receive warmth, pull away, and still receive attention, disappear, and still find you waiting, they do not fully feel the value of your presence because access is too easy. But when you go silent for months and you do not chase, do not check, do not post for her, do not ask around, that access changes. She may think maybe I cannot just come back whenever I want. She may think maybe he is not waiting anymore. She may think maybe I lost something I thought would always be there. That is when absence can become heavy, not because you are punishing her, because access to you finally has a boundary. A man with no boundaries trains people to take him for granted. He may have a good heart, but if he gives unlimited access to people who do not respect it, his kindness starts looking cheap. Not because kindness is weak, but because kindness without self respect has no protection. A strong man is still kind, but his kindness has boundaries. He can care, but he does not chase confusion. He can forgive, but he does not instantly reopen the door. He can miss her, but he does not abandon himself. He can love deeply, but he will not beg someone into choosing him. That is the frame that changes everything. And if she senses that your access is no longer automatic, it may shake the way she sees you. But again, do not fake it. If your boundary is only a strategy, it will break the moment she sends a soft message. She says, hey, and suddenly you are back to old habits. You reply instantly. You write too much. You ask if she misses you. You bring up the whole past. You try to lock down certainty before she has shown any consistency. And just like that, months of silence turn into proof that you were only waiting. Do not be that man. If she reaches out after months, your response must come from the man you became, not the man who waited. A small message is not a full return. A hey is not accountability. A miss you is not changed behavior. A story view is not love. A late night text is not proof that she is ready. A woman testing the door is not the same as a woman walking through it with clarity. So if she reaches out, stay calm, not cold. Calm if she says, hey, you can say, hey, hope you're doing well. That is enough. Then observe, does she bring clarity? Does she show consistency? Does she respect your pace? Does she explain why she reached out? Does she take responsibility? Or does she only want to see if she still has access to your emotions? A grounded man watches actions. A needy man gets drunk on words. Do not get drunk on words. Words are easy when someone is lonely. Words are easy when guilt appears. Words are easy when another option fails. Words are easy when nostalgia hits at night. But consistency is harder, accountability is harder, respecting boundaries is harder. That is why you move slowly. A real return can handle patience. A fake return usually cannot. The fourth thing that may happen in her mind is that she may compare your absence with what came after you. This does not always happen, but it can. After months of silence, she may experience life without your attention. Maybe the new excitement fades. Maybe the people she thought would understand her do not show the same consistency. Maybe the freedom she wanted starts feeling emptier than she expected. Maybe the attention she received from others does not feel as stable as what you gave. And then your absence becomes a mirror, not because you forced it, because life has a way of revealing the difference between what is exciting and what is valuable. But listen carefully. You are not a backup plan. You are not emotional insurance. You are not a safe place someone returns to only because another option disappointed them. If she comes back because another situation failed, do not let your ego celebrate too quickly. Do not say, I knew he was not better. Do not insult him. Do not become emotional cleanup for someone who chose another direction. Stay centered. If she wants access again, she must come with more than disappointment. She must come with clarity, accountability, and consistent effort. Regret alone is not enough. A person can regret losing you and still not be ready to respect you. A person can miss your comfort and still avoid responsibility. A person can realize the grass was not greener and still not have the maturity to build something healthy. That is why you must observe. Does she respect your pace? Does she own her part? Does she communicate clearly? Does she show changed behavior over time? Or does she only want the comfort she lost? A weak man hears, I miss you, and forgets the whole story. A grounded man hears, I miss you, and watches the next chapter carefully. Do not forget the lesson just because she remembers the comfort. Now, let us bring this back to you, because your mind also changes during months of silence. At first, you may still be attached to the fantasy. You may think she was perfect. You may blame yourself for everything. You may believe one more conversation could fix it. You may imagine her coming back and saying all the things you wanted to hear, but if you use silence correctly, clarity begins to return. You start seeing the connection more honestly. You remember the good, but you also remember the confusion. You remember her warmth, but you also remember the coldness. You remember the chemistry, but you also remember the anxiety. You remember the potential, but you also remember the pattern. That is important because nostalgia is dangerous. Nostalgia remembers the beginning and edits out the cost. It remembers her laugh, but forgets how you felt when she went cold. It remembers the sweet words, but forgets the inconsistency. It remembers the closeness, but forgets the nights you were waiting for a reply. A grounded man does not let nostalgia make decisions for him. He can appreciate the good without ignoring reality. And reality is what protects your future. The fifth thing that may happen in her mind is curiosity. Curiosity is not love. Do not confuse them. After months of silence, she may wonder about you. She may wonder how you are doing. She may wonder if you moved on. She may wonder if you are seeing someone else. She may wonder why you never reached out. She may check quietly. She may ask indirectly. She may look at your profile. She may send a small signal, but curiosity is not commitment. A woman can be curious and still not be ready. She can wonder and still not respect your boundaries. She can miss the feeling of being wanted and still not want to rebuild. She can check the door and still not be prepared to walk through it. This is where men must stay sharp. Do not turn curiosity into a fantasy. If she likes something, stay calm. If she views something, stay calm. If she sends a vague message, stay calm. Let her reveal intention. A man with self respect does not chase clarity from vague effort. Vague effort gets calm distance. Clear effort can receive clear attention. That is the standard. Because if she only came to see whether you are still emotionally available, your calmness will expose that. If she truly wants to reconnect, she will bring more than a tiny signal. Do not do all the emotional labor for someone who only opened the door a little. Now, here's the part most men need to hear. Going silent for months is not powerful if your life stays the same. If you are still the same man, the silence did not build you. If you are still anxious, still checking, still waiting, still bitter, still controlled by her possible return, then months pass, but you did not transform. Time alone does not heal a man. What he does with time heals him. That is why your routine matters. For the next 7 days, do not message her first. Do not check her stories. Do not ask mutual friends about her. Do not post to get her attention. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not reread old messages until your chest hurts. Do not send a soft message when what you really want is reassurance. Put that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body even if your mind is heavy. Clean your space even if your emotions feel messy. Fix your sleep because tired men make weak decisions. Eat properly because heartbreak drains your focus. Walk when anxiety hits. Write what you want to send, but do not send it. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that her absence does not own you. Every time you do not chase, you rebuild self trust. Every time you do not check, you rebuild peace. Every time you do not send a fear based message, you rebuild dignity. Every time you keep your routine while hurting, you become stronger. Confidence is not built by saying, I am confident. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. You said you would not chase, do not chase. You said you would not check, do not check. You said you would not beg, do not beg. That is how a man becomes solid, and a solid man carries a different energy. He is not waiting by the phone. He is not emotionally shaking because she is gone. He is not begging the universe for proof that she misses him. He is not making one woman's silence the center of his life. He has direction. Direct is powerful. A man with direction does not orbit around a woman's uncertainty. He keeps moving. He has things to build. He has a body to strengthen. He has money to earn. He has skills to sharpen. He has standards to protect. And when a woman feels that you have direction, she feels that your attention is not cheap, that matters, because attention without boundaries loses value. If she can leave and still receive your emotional energy, your attention has no boundary. If she can go cold and still know you are waiting, your presence has no consequence. If she can give less and you give more, your effort becomes something she does not have to earn. Stop making your effort automatic. Be warm but not desperate. Be open but not needy. Be patient but not passive. Be understanding but not blind. Be calm but not weak. That is balance. Most men lose that balance after heartbreak. First they chase, then they get angry. First they beg, then they act cold. First they worship her, then they insult her. First they overgive, then they try to punish. That is not strength, that is emotional instability. A strong man does not swing wildly because his ego got hurt. He stays centered. He can say, I care, but I will not chase. He can say, I miss her, but I will not beg. He can say, I am open to what is real, but I am not available for confusion. And sometimes he says nothing at all. He simply keeps building. The sixth thing that may happen in her mind is that she begins to wonder if she misjudged your strength. This happens when she expected weakness but received dignity. She expected chasing, but you did not chase. She expected begging, but you did not beg. She expected anger, but you did not insult. She expected emotional posts, but you stayed quiet. She expected you to remain available, but you returned to your life. That leaves a different memory. People remember how you act when you are hurt. If you collapse, they remember pressure. If you become bitter, they remember immaturity. If you become cruel, they remember instability. But if you stay calm and rebuild, they remember strength. That memory may grow over time, but again, do not become addicted to being remembered. Your goal is not to haunt her mind. Your goal is to respect yourself. If she remembers your strength, fine. If she does not, you still become stronger. That is how you stay free. Because a man who is obsessed with being remembered is still not free. He is still living in her head instead of his own life. The real win is when you stop needing her mental attention to feel valuable. That is freedom. Now, if she does come back after months of silence, you must understand what her return may mean. Sometimes she comes back because she genuinely reflected. Sometimes she comes back because she misses you. Sometimes she comes back because she feels guilty. Sometimes she comes back because she is lonely. Sometimes she comes back because another option failed. Sometimes she comes back because she wants to see if she still has access. Those are different reasons. Do not treat all of them like love. A weak man hears from her and thinks, she came back, I won. A grounded man thinks, she reached out, now I observe. That is the difference. If she says, I miss you, you can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? If she says, I've been thinking about us, you can say, I understand. What do you want to do with that? If she says, can we talk? You can say, we can talk, but I am not rushing back into anything. These are not games, these are calm boundaries. They invite clarity without begging. They show openness without desperation. They protect your peace without attacking her. A real return can handle that. A fake return usually cannot. If she respects you, she will respect your pace. If she only wanted attention, she may disappear when she realizes you are not easy access anymore. Let that happen. You need truth more than temporary comfort. Now, ask yourself something honestly. Do you want her back because she is truly good for your life, or do you want her back because her silence made you feel rejected? Do you miss her character, or do you miss the version of yourself you felt like when she wanted you? Do you want a healthy relationship, or do you want the pain reversed? These questions matter because sometimes a man does not want the woman back. He wants his ego repaired. He wants proof that he still mattered. He wants the rejection undone. He wants the story to end with her regret so the pain feels worth it. That is human, but it can be dangerous. If you are only trying to reverse rejection, you may accept someone who is not healthy for you. You may ignore the same red flags. You may return to the same cycle. You may confuse her return with your healing. Her return is not your healing. Your self respect is your healing. Your discipline is your healing. Your ability to stay calm is your healing. Your ability to walk away from repeated confusion is your healing. That is why getting her back is not the highest goal. Getting yourself back is the seventh thing that may happen when you go silent for months is that you stop needing to know what is happening in her mind. That is the real transformation. At first, you are obsessed with her thoughts. Does she miss me? Does she regret it? Is she thinking about me? Did she compare me to him? Is she going to text? Is she pretending to be over me? But after real healing, your question changes. You stop asking, what is she thinking? You start asking, how am I living? You stop asking, does she miss me? You start asking, do I respect myself? You stop asking, will she come back? You start asking, am I building a life I am proud of? That is when you become powerful. Because a man who is no longer controlled by her inner world cannot be easily manipulated by her outer behavior. Her silence does not own him. Her attention does not own him. Her return does not own him. Her absence does not own him. His memories do not own him. His urges do not own him. He can feel, but he can choose. That is freedom. And freedom is attractive because it does not beg. A needy man says, please come back so I can feel okay. A free man says, if you return with respect, I will listen. If you do not, I will keep walking. That is a different energy. That is the energy you want. So tonight, when the urge comes, do not text from panic. Do not check from anxiety. Do not post from insecurity. Do not ask around from fear. Do not try to live inside her mind. Come back to your own life. Put the phone down. Stand up. Drink water. Walk. Train. Pray. Work. Slip. Build. Do one thing that makes tomorrow better. Because discipline is how a man tells heartbreak, you can hurt me, but you cannot lead me. That is the man she remembers, not the man who begged, not the man who folded, not the man who waited by the phone for months like his whole identity was trapped inside one notification, the man who hurt but stayed composed, the man who cared but did not abandon himself, the man who missed her but kept moving, the man who turned silence into strength, pain into standards, and absence into direction. That man is hard to forget. That man is hard to replace. That man is free. So remember this. When you go silent for months, many things may happen in her mind. She may wonder, she may compare, she may feel your absence, she may become curious, she may regret, she may test the door, she may come back, or she may not. But the most important thing is what happens inside you. Do you become calmer? Do you become stronger? Do you become more disciplined? Do you stop chasing? Do you stop checking? Do you stop making her return the center of your life? Do you become a man who can love deeply without losing himself? That is the real purpose of silence, not to control her mind, to reclaim your own. And in the next video, you will learn the exact signs she is starting to miss you but is too proud to admit it, and how to handle her return without giving away the power you worked so hard to build.